Hi, and welcome back to another Evolve to Win show. This is episode 99. This is the Christmas edition. Holiday tradition. Yeah.
We are going to invite you to try out a brand new holiday tradition this year with a handful of questions that we are going to offer up as considerations for you as you sit around with your family and your loved ones throughout this holiday season.
Why? Because what happens most of the time when families get together for the holidays?
Well, all I would have to do is look at Christmas past to figure out that answer to that question, right? Which is, I think we kind of do the same thing all the time. We have the same kind of conversations. Oftentimes we're talking about the same memories that we talked about the prior year, which is always fun. I still want to do that. But you definitely can get in a habit and a routine of how you are with each other. Eating the same Jell-O mold, as an example,
telling the same stories, right?
Telling the same stories, possibly even the same jokes.
Right.
Expecting a new response,
Talking about maybe Christmas or holidays past, things that happened, right?
Right. So we're gonna offer an opportunity for you guys to shake it up this year. So whether you celebrate Hanukkah, Christmas, or whatever it is you celebrate over the holidays, maybe this is even just a pre-New Year's tradition that you can consider taking on. And so we're just gonna give them to you question by question and take the ones that you like the most and try this out with your family. It's like a new game without the board.
Yeah, so we will post these in the notes section so that you can write them down or print them out and maybe consider being proactive this year as far as a proactive participant in your holiday event and see what happens, because engaging people in a different conversation sometimes just will change the way that they look at you as well.
And quite honestly, if you follow these questions, you're probably going to learn a lot about the people around you. These are going to be responses they give you that they probably wouldn't have otherwise shared. And they're age appropriate for everybody. So I actually think this is a really, really cool thing for kids to be able to experience as well.
Yeah.
So let's start off with question number one. Question number one is really looking for every single person to look back over the year and talk about what their biggest accomplishments were. So you can ask this a few different ways. You can say, what are you most proud of from this year? Or what accomplishment are you most proud of for this year? Or what are your biggest wins this year? So those are a few different ways that you can ask the same question. And this question might make people uncomfortable, just so you know. First of all, they're not expecting it, so they at first won't really know what to do with it. So if you're going to play this game, you might want to think about yours in advance and have it ready so that you can give an example. And so when we talk about wins or accomplishments, a lot of times, because if you've grown up in a family and you've really been taught to be humble and not talk about yourself, or maybe proud isn't a good word for you, just consider that most of us don't celebrate our wins at the level that we should be. We don't acknowledge ourselves for the good things that we do. And this is a great exercise to get people in the mindset of really celebrating who they are and what they've accomplished.
Yeah, and one of the biggest challenges when you ask somebody just point blank, what was your biggest win for the year or biggest wins, they usually can't tell you. They have to think about it for a little bit.
Yeah, because they're so not used to celebrating. And trust me, everyone has had major accomplishments all throughout the year, but usually what we do is we blow right by them, right? We don't celebrate them. We don't talk about them.
Or we look at the things that don't work.
Yeah, this was great, but, right? And we're thinking about, so this is the other hint. As people are sharing their wins, they may try to be self-deprecating. Well, I really wanted to accomplish this, but I didn't get there. But I did get this. Like, make sure that you're keeping it focused on the positive. Well, what did you do? And listen, if somebody had a goal out there that they wanted to achieve and they didn't quite get there, let's celebrate the progress. So if you're in a different place this year than you were last year and it's positive, that's progress, and we love progress. So make sure that when each person goes around and talks about their wins, talks about what they're proud of, that you really take a moment and be present and actively listen and acknowledge them and ask the whole family to really celebrate each person's accomplishments. Now, if you happen to have a family where you've got some sarcasm that kind of runs in the background, I know mine does, right?
Yeah.
it would be very easy to make fun of each other during this great new holiday exercise. So you might want to establish some rules of the game. You know your family's best, and just make sure that throughout this exercise, if someone's going to choose to participate, that we're actually looking to be supportive of each other. So the way that you position it probably is pretty good too.
So number one was asking, what was your what is it that you're the most proud of, or what was your biggest win for the year? So that's question number one.
Question number two, what are you most grateful for? So question number two is just really an opportunity for people to think about and say out loud all the things that they're grateful for. Now, this, of course, we understand that many people struggle with the holidays. And especially, I think it's a time where if you've lost someone, it can be a real challenge to be focused on gratitude especially if it's so recent and you're otherwise naturally focused on the loss and the grieving. But this is an opportunity really to shift the thinking and get super intentional about just thinking about all the things you're grateful for. So if you are one of us who has recently lost someone, maybe that's a great time too to take a moment and think about really specifically a memory that you're grateful for, something about the person who's not with you celebrating this year that you're grateful for. So that's a way to include those who have gone before us.
Yep.
And in general is just a really spectacular moment to share that. I mean, the energy in the room is likely to just shift entirely. So if you have that, negative Uncle Ned who comes to the holidays every year and you're dreading this because you're going to hear a lot of complaints, this is a fantastic exercise to have Uncle Ned do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So
number
anything
three,
else on gratitude?
Nope.
Okay, good.
Nope.
Number three, go ahead, Paul.
What do you want most in 2020? So what do you want the most for next year?
So this isn't what do you think you're going to accomplish or, what's likely to happen for you in 2020. It's like, what do you really want? Like if you could have anything in this next year, in this new decade, what is it for you that you would be so excited about, so passionate about? Like what is your heart's desire for 2020? Now, this is super fun too, especially if you have kids in the room. You're going to see how they come up with it just like that. It's the adults that typically struggle with this question. They're like, well, I don't really know what I want, right? So it's a good way to get them thinking. And if they haven't already done goal setting or thought about their New Year's resolution, however they do it, it's a great question. And it's going to spark a great conversation. So the immediate follow-up question after what do you want most in 2020 is why? And that's where the conversation gets really good. So the fourth question is why? And so when somebody tells you they want, let's just say that, I want to make $1 million next year. Okay, why is that important to you? And just dig a little deeper, find out what it is they really want, because chances are that there's something beneath that that's even more important than the surface level goal that they share with you. So what do you want most in 2020?
I'd like to lose 20 pounds. No, just
you
kidding.
Don't.
No, but if somebody says that, then you ask, why?
Yeah. Oh, so we were just role playing.
Yeah.
I'm like, I know Paul doesn't want to lose that much weight. Okay, why? Why is that important to you?
Because I just don't feel good. Like I can't fit in my clothes, and I've been eating and drinking way too much this holiday season.
That might be true for you. Yeah. And okay, so everything that he just shared in my first why was everything he doesn't like. Right. So, Paul, so what would it be like? How would you feel if you actually accomplished that goal?
The reason, the positive part of that is that I just want to feel better. I just have not been feeling as active and motivated and mentally strong, and I think a lot has to do with the fact that physically I don't feel that good.
Got it. So you're just really looking to feel better. You're looking to feel more energetic, more focused. Just feel good about yourself by coming up with a routine that really fits for you.
Right.
Awesome. All right, good. So whatever it is that someone shares about what they really want, I totally cut Paul off there only because I know that's not on his goal list, but he was just giving an example. But don't do what I just did. When someone tells you what they want, no matter what it is, and even if it seems outrageous for you, please just go with it. because like the last thing you want to do is crush someone's goals or dreams. If someone's actually courageous enough to share a dream, a goal that they have, a vision that they have for themselves, God, it's so great to just get behind it and get excited with them and kind of get aligned with them on what they want
and
why
how can
they
you
want it.
support them?
Yeah.
Right?
How can I support you? That's a good bonus question. How can I support you? All right. So we went through the 5 different questions that you're going to consider asking around the room this year at whatever holiday gathering you go to with your family and your friends. And you know what? If for some reason you're in a remote
What was
location.
the 5th one? We did 4.
Oh, we did 4. What we did, the bonus question was, how can I support you?
Oh, so I didn't know
Throw that in. It's a bonus question. How can I support you?
So that is number
Just
5.
going on the fly. Yeah.
Okay.
So I was just going to say, if for some reason you can't be together with your family members because you're in different locations and you just weren't able to be together, this is a great phone conversation to have with people. You know, if you do that, you know, typical phone call and you just talk about, hey, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy New Year, what are you doing? How are you doing? How's the weather? Like the standard kind of stuff. Think of how different that conversation would be if you ask these 5 questions.
Got it. So let's just recap the 5 questions, and
Okay.
then we will let everybody go because I imagine you have other things to do this morning.
I think so.
right.
All right. So number 1 is, what are you most proud of? Or what are your biggest wins from 2019? Number 2.
Number 2 is, what are you most grateful for?
Number 3 is, what do you want most in 2020?
And number 4 is, why do you want that?
And number 5, which is the bonus question that just came up during this episode, is, how can I support you? So remember, in asking these questions, it's a time to really, really actively listen, get involved, find out, get curious about people, because you might think you know what they're going to say, and they might say something completely different. So find out why and get involved, get aligned. We hope that you have just an amazing, amazing holiday season. We are going to be back a week from now with episode 100. Now, I have no idea how you lined that up to be at the very
Didn't
end
that work
of
out
the
great?
year, but it's pretty awesome. So, so we'll see you next week. And have a good one. Thanks so much for tuning in to the Evolve to Win show. If you know somebody else who needs to hear this, or if you want to send this episode in advance of the holiday and get some support from others in your family, please feel free to share it.
Bye. Have a great day.